Okay. Let's see. Everything looks great. I think it's good. Doesn't look like there's any issues. So, today we are going to be talking about my experiences with 3D printing, what I've been doing, what got me into 3D printing. But before we talk about that, for some reason, my stream seems good, but elapsed time seems more than an hour, and I don't know why it's going as my previous stream. That might just be an error. I'm just going to take a look right now on my phone. Yeah, everything's okay. So, today we're talking about my 3D printing experiences. I'd like to ask how the mic quality is and how the camera is, if anybody's watching. As of now, no one is, unfortunately. But anyways, obviously now I have a new webcam, I have a new microphone. I'm gonna be talking about it. It's gonna sound much better. It's just gonna be better streams in general. As you all know, I wanted to do a stream at 50 subscribers, 9 subscribers above, but close enough. So let's start. All right. So I started 3D printing with a thought that I could build any kind of models and 3D print any models that I wanted. I liked to build hobby models like ships and tanks and stuff. It was interesting to me, so I decided to find a way that I could 3D print my own parts for them. And I looked into 3D printing after looking through some kind of injection molding and other stuff that I didn't even know about. Then I ran into 3D printing, how the technology works, and I was completely intrigued. Then, for my birthday, I did get this Xyz Printing Ail, and you cannot see it. 1 second. Let's see. Obviously some kind of technical issues. Let me see. Open image, new tab. And you can't see it again. Let me just minimize this window a little bit. There we go. So this is the Xyz Printing Davinci Ail. It was the first printer I got, and to be honest, it wasn't that excellent. I thought it was beautiful, it was perfect. What it is a 3D printer made by Xyz Printing that has a 3D scanner inside as well as a 3D printer. So I got it, I put it on my desk, I plugged it in, connected it to my computer, downloaded the software, and printed one of the first demo prints that was already on the machine. In fact, it was a lighthouse, which is this one right here. It's one of my most favorite prints because it actually came out nice, and it was my very first print that got me into 3D printing. And it printed this in ABS plastic. It came with ABS plastic, so it was all preset. I couldn't change the temperature. I didn't know anything about it. And yeah, it came out well, except that the first time I printed it, actually I didn't know you needed glue on the build plate for ABS, and it just warped and absolutely got destroyed. So then I decided to put glue on it. I did the print, went out to a restaurant with my family, came back, and I saw this sitting on the build plate. Took it off and observed it. It was pretty cool. I was completely intrigued on how it worked, how advanced it was, and all stuff like that. Then, after several months of just printing with the Xyz Printing Ail, I ran into several issues. One, I was getting really tired of having to smash prints straight off the build plate with the spatula because they weren't coming off with the glue and the ABS, and it was a glass bed. Two, leveling the bed. This printer was not automatic. Leveling the bed was extremely, extremely annoying, and it was just got to me. Like, I adjusted it like 30 million times, and it didn't work at all. Now, after a long time, I do have more experience with like the paper leveling and stuff like that. I'm pretty experienced. I might get that printer, which is all the way over there, running once again. I don't mind any sounds that are going on right now. It's just crazy. But I might, like, I researched the paper strategy where you level the bed with the paper, and back then I thought it was a really stupid decision, and it was like really dumb and didn't work. But now, after so much experience with my Monoprice, my Lulzbot Mini, it really does work. And now I'm going to be able to try that again and maybe possibly get that printer working much better. Now, another issue I ran into maybe like a month into printing with my first 3D printer was overhangs. I had no idea how to deal with them. The XYZ slicer was not excellent, so I figured out that I can use supports after watching a ton of YouTube videos on 3D printing. And I decided to try supports. Then my first print. This was my first print with supports. This is the Nautilus. And it came out great. I back then, I thought it came out great. For a 3D printer, maybe 3 years old, it came out really well, except that I see a lot of Z-banding. I didn't even know what Z-banding was. I thought this was really excellent for a print. If you can see that right there. And it printed. I printed it straight on the build plate like this, and used supports, and then I removed them after. It was really good. So I was even happier with 3D printing, and I printed tons of models, and yeah, so besides the issues that I had, it was really fun. And getting to know my 3D printer and using it for so long, I got to know the issues with it, the good parts about it, some issues such as the leveling the build surface, not being able to change temperature. The 3D scanner actually didn't scan really well. It was pretty bad. It just uses 2 lasers, and I did not really like that, so I thought about getting another printer. In my 7th grade applied tech class, I saw 2 3D printers, and those were called the Lulzbot Mini. The Lulzbot Mini was what I researched when I came home, and here I got this for the holidays. This printer is the Lulzbot Mini version 1.04. With the new builds plate, there were different parts in it, more 3D printed parts, improved tool head. So I started printing with that, and it was even better. If you can see, one second. One of my first prints that I actually did was their Rocktopus. This, I made it on high quality print settings in Lulzbot Cura, as I was much more advanced back then, and it came out incredibly well. I didn't know that printers could print this detailed. I tried it, and I was really surprised. This was printed in the Lulzbot PLA from Polylite. However, before that, I tried to print, and I got a layer shift. So you can see this Rocktopus got a layer shift. Actually, if you can look right here, once again, it got in the way. Here we are. You can see this cable sleeve right here. This actually hit this build surface right there when it was printing, and it ended up hitting it and not being able to move to see the next part. So yeah, I looked at it, I just lifted it up, it clicked in place, and it was fine. That's another part where I found an issue, checked it, and actually decided to solve it and found out the issue. So, sorry, I'm a little sick. I need some water. Yeah, I printed several, actually printed at least probably 3 prints per day. I was like printing like crazy for the first, I don't know, five months with this printer. And I enjoyed it. I had no issues. It was a tethered connection though, which nowadays is what I do not like, what many people do not like. But back then, I was fine with it. My printer was just sitting right there, connected to my laptop, doing its work, easy peasy. Actually, a funny story I have is I was printing the Pi Tower, and I actually was installing some 3D CAD softwares. And what I was not smart back then. I actually didn't read through anything when it was telling you to install it. So it asked you if you wanted to restart now or restart later. I didn't read it. I clicked restart later, and it just stopped. And it just stopped the print at about 96% done. I was so mad. I like broke the print in half. I hated it, and that's one reason why now I do like SD card connections, not tethered connections. Here's the tethered port right here. And another issue. Another actually good part about the Lulzbot Mini that I did enjoy was that I could print with many kinds of filaments. You could control a lot of stuff. And yeah, also it did level the bed and clean the nozzle before every print, which was something that I really did enjoy. Now, I decided that I kind of wanted to not run tethered. I've been printing for a while. Everything's doing fine. So I got the Lulzbot Mini graphical LCD. Here it is right here. You've seen it on my 3D printer. I've made reviews on it. This is it. And I installed it myself on my birthday, easy peasy. And I had to take things apart, plug things into the motherboard, and it was really, really easy. But I liked it. I thought it was an interesting job, and actually one of my first experiences with taking apart a printer. It was fun. I had no problems, plugged it in, upgraded the firmware, did everything really easy. Then I went to a camp. Sorry. I went to a camp during the summer, and they gave me a free Monoprice Select Mini V2. Wasn't really free because, I paid for the camp as well. But as you can see, it's right here. And yeah, I did buy that printer. Sorry, I got it for free. 1 second. So this printer, you saw that I did unbox it on a video, did a live stream, set it up. I had a lot of experience then with 3D printing, and I'm really sorry. And it was excellent. You saw the review. The first print came out excellent. And yeah, so once again, I printed for probably a couple months. Then I ended up with the masking tape that I put on the build plate starting to peel, as well as the prints warping. I got a dehydrator for the filament, dehydrated the filament, and it didn't work. What I did then was I bought a Build Tack PEI surface. I cut it to the measurement of the build plate, stuck it on, re-leveled the nozzle in the bed, and boom. Everything stuck perfect, the PLA was working, and the prints were excellent. That is up to now. Now, but in the middle of this, when I got the Lulzbot, when I got to the Monoprice Select Mini V2, I also got the Lulzbot Micro SL toolhead. This has a 0.25 millimeter nozzle, and I started printing it with it. My first print was in their PLA. It came out excellent. Actually, let me get it for you. Here it is right here. It focuses. Okay, it doesn't focus. It's a little benchy, actually. And it came out beautiful. What I did not know was that particled filaments clog the nozzle. I got Proto Pasta High Five Blue, put it in, and it didn't work. Printed the first benchy, maybe something else, and then I got a clicking sound on the hobbed bolt. The nozzle was clogged. I ordered new parts from E3D. They arrived and I replaced it, and unfortunately it did work for a little bit with the engine, and once again it clogged. That's right now my Lulzbot Mini. Let me move 1 second. Right there is getting ready to be shipped out for support from Lulzbot, as I do not want to replace it again or deal anything with the Z banding issue, which I did not talk about on my Lulzbot Mini right now. If you excuse me, I'm coughing a lot. But our next thing that I did get, the Prusa I3 Mark 3S. 1 second before I start speaking a ton. So, as my Monoprice printed really small, my Lulzbot Mini printed really small, my Lulzbot Mini didn't work really well because it was broken and Z-banding, so I decided to get the i3 Mark 3S kit, obviously from Prusa, at $750 in black and orange, and a spring steel with double-sided PEI sheet. I got it. This was actually a couple weeks ago. It's supposed to have no problems, supposed to be an excellent printer. Got it as a kit, assembled it partially right now, and looked at the E-axis. You already saw this video. The E-axis actually is kind of some parts that weren't there. I emailed Prusa. They should be sending me some new parts, which is the extruder body and the extruder cover, which did not come for some reason, so I had to stop. I assembled some other parts that I could for now, but everything else I had to just wait on, such as electronics and basically the extruder. Everything else is done, but now I'm waiting on that. That's pretty much all for this story. I know it wasn't really in-depth as much because I don't feel good. I can't really, think as much, and my throat hurts, so it's harder for me to talk. But anyways, you get the idea. You can see my Prusa is right here. I am just gonna sit here for a while. You guys can ask questions in the chat because I have absolutely nothing to do for now. Just yeah, talk in the chat and ask me some questions. I'm willing to answer them. That was a really short stream for 20 minutes talking. Usually it should be longer, but yeah. I pretty much listed all the problems I've had with 3D printing, all the things I've discovered, and yeah, I'm just gonna go put this stuff away, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I don't see any questions. I'd like some questions, please. I know 2 people are watching. All right, I missed you talking about the DaVinci, and what was your experience like with that? Okay, so Suitlog 3D, my DaVinci Ail 3D printer, it wasn't really excellent. I'll just give you a quick brief description. If you want to, you could really go back and check it. But really how it was that I got it, loaded up as a first demo print, printed it, came out pretty well, and after quite a while, my bed stopped leveling correctly. It didn't level on its own, but I didn't know the paper leveling tactic or anything. It just had those little screws on the bottom of the bed, which some printers still do. Then it's just got destroyed. I didn't know how to do it. The bed got destroyed because of glue. I couldn't take prints off. The scanner was terrible. All in all, you get the idea. And then I just decided to get the Lowesbot Mini. Pretty much stopped printing with the AIO. Quick question to you. Does the mic sound correct, or is it a little too loud, a little too quiet? Because I had issues with that previously. And one note, I am not in any way sponsored by Prusa, Lowesbot, or Monoprice, or anyone I've talked about. Mic is perfect. Yes, thank you. It's a brand new mic. Actually, right there. That's my mic. Okay, I'll be right back. So I'd like to take one moment to take a look how perfect the PEI sheet for the spring seal sheet for the Prusa Mark III is. Here it is, bendy, and there's a little bit of it's a little dirty on the side because of my lubricant covered fingers when I was assembling it, but double-sided. I absolutely love this thing. This is like my hand to it. That's how big it can print. So I'm just gonna go put this over there. Yeah, so if there are no other questions about my experiences or anything else like that, I would like to conclude this video. I'll take another, 5 minutes if you guys have any questions, and if you do, I will answer them. Right here, I actually just recently 3D printed Springo from Devin at Make Anything on his My Mini Factory website. 3D printed at 0.15 millimeter layer height, and yeah, I just cut it up with a knife, kind of, and it worked. Alright. So, Suitlog 3D, have you used an i3 Mark III in person? Myself, I haven't actually seen an i3 Mark III's or Mark III ever before in person than this printer itself. I've never seen one in person based on, like, scale. I've seen it on YouTube videos, obviously, and pictures, but I've never seen one in person. I've never printed one, but I've heard that it's really, really good compared to any other videos and and any other printers. That it really, really works well, and it has all those like new technology and stuff that should make it work really well, like the IR sensor and all power out and stuff like that. Obviously, yes, I'm gonna make a video about that and about testing it the first time I click the on button and see if it works and setting it up and all that. That's probably gonna be about one video. Other questions, Suitlog 3D. To anyone else who's watching this, Suitlog 3D is a really great channel. He has an Ender 3 and possibly another 3D printer. I've seen his videos. They're really great. The prints come out well, and I hope you guys, anyone who's watching, any of my subscribers or viewers, take a look at his channel, Suitlog3D, that's how it's spelled, also in the live chat. And he may go live soon. It's your decision, Suitlog3D, whether you want to go live or not. And, yeah. So, with that, I would like to conclude this video, unless you have any other questions. Let's see. Okay. If I get a new computer, should I do a live unboxing or an edited vid? According to Suitlog3D, I recommend to you to do a edited video. Depends on what computer you're gonna get. If you're going to get if you're gonna build one, I do a live stream because it's gonna be longer. If it's gonna be under or at 30 minutes long, then I do a video, because an edited video is, I guess it looks better. You won't have any issues really getting it. Surface Go, okay. Yes, I definitely recommend doing a video, as it's a smaller computer. It's a laptop. It's not as big, you know, it's not going to take you a long time to carry it around, to move it into position. I think you should definitely do a video. Make sure it's organized. Like, you know, you could use my videos as an example, but make sure your edited video is organized and stuff. Don't just have it running forever. I guess I'd recommend doing an edited video. It's not going to be as messy as a live unboxing. An edited video, in my opinion, I kind of repeat this, it's just in my opinion more organized. Like, you can see this, I had to go over there, grab my printed part, show you. In a regular video, I don't do that. I don't turn around, walk across the room, and take some parts and come back. Or it'll take a while. And if I do that, I cut that part out of the video. So that's just my recommendation. That's my reasoning on recording videos. Up to you. But yeah. Yeah, Surface Go. What editing app are you going to be using, Suitlog3D, if you're going to be using a laptop for editing? So, I don't think I've ever revealed this on my channel, but what I use to edit is, well, my computer, but it's called HitFilm Express 2017. I think there's an updated version, but HitFilm Express. Try HitFilm Express. It's a little bit complicated. It may take a little bit of time to learn. I'll give you a quick look at it. It'll kind of cover my page. Actually, no. Here. This is what it looks like from the beginning. Obviously not sponsored by it or anything. New. That's how I edit. So I'm going to kind of give you a quick look at it. I would use this to edit videos. So it's a little bit complicated. Let me just try to fit this in. You guys could see. All right, so right here. So if you want to use HitFilm, I guess take this as a little tutorial. Just go back to this live stream so you could see. Right here is where you see your video. You click import to get all the files that you need. And if you want to cut, you click cut tool, and then you cut every part you want. Then you click back to selector, click it, and click the delete button, not the backspace, and it'll delete that part of the video. Then you move stuff around, video line, audio line, so you can do those parts where I have in my videos where there's another picture, but I'm speaking from the same line at the same time. and that stuff. And this you obviously don't have to do, but I'd recommend it. There's a lot of tutorials online. So if you just go on YouTube, just search Hit Film Express beginner tutorials, like a 30-minute video. It just teaches you all the stuff about it. That's all I have to say for this video. Hope you all enjoyed, the 2 viewers who are watching as of now, unless you're going to be watching it archived. But, yeah, thanks for watching.